Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Living here. And the state of the Trench Raider kit post spring patch. Some little interesting tweaks that they did here. Really, everything's kind of stayed the same for the Trench Raider kit. The only difference is now is your grenades don't respawn automatically. Now you will need a support class to respawn those grenades. So that's an interesting little tweak that they did there to do that, as well as you have to have a support class again to respawn your smoke grenades as well. So all your grenades do need to respawn. So now you're going to have to use a little bit more of team play to get that involved, which is kind of interesting in the first place when you think about it, that wasn't there kind of in the first place, because considering that they do try to make everything team centric, the Trench Raider kit needed no teamwork at all. So being that DICE wants to, of course, keep things team centric, and as well with the great grenade span, it was pretty inevitable. This probably was going to happen. How much did it change the gameplay though for the Trench Raider kit? In my opinion, not much. I still think this is a pretty, even without the unlimited grenades, it's still the best elite class in the game. I feel like there's, even though the Tank Hunter elite class I think is the second best, and it can do some pretty big damage. The fact that you can heal yourself makes you just such a danger for you being able to cap the actual flag. So it's still a class to be reckoned with. In this video you'll see here I go like 40 something and 0 again, and this is post patch gameplay. So it's still a class you still want to respect. However, though, with that being said, I feel like the biggest balance that they had to make it make the Trench Raider kit more fair wasn't so much changing up its game style with like the grenades and the grenade respawn time for the kit, but these actual spawn locations for the start of the map. And you'll notice, especially in Verdun Heights, there was definitely a little bit of a lopsided spawn balance when it came to coming into the game at the start. If you spawned by A and B, you had a higher chance of getting the Trench Raider kit than if you spawned by the spawn points by D and E. It was just, you would be able to get to C quicker, you're able to post up better. The entry point coming in from D and E was just a really poor entry point, considering where the Trench Raider kit was located at. So the fact that now you spawn a little bit further back by A now causes the time for you to get down to C about the exact same time that you're getting there from E. So it does change it up a bit now, where it is a little bit more fair. So I was noticing that as well too, that I was getting the kit almost every time when I was spawning down by A. And I mean, my only challenge was like getting it for my teammates. If my teammates wanted to get it, that was my only challenge. The idea that the enemy team was going to get it was very slim, and I was trying to get up to the point too of trying to find ways for me to get in there. But it was, I would have to play like God mode to get the Trench Raider kit. If someone really wanted to get it, they were like hunting for it, and they went from A, and they wanted to get it from get to C quicker than I did and get it posted up, they were going to get there, and it was going to be very difficult for me to get in there with them all posted up and grab that kit. So I find that to be the biggest probably change in it was not so much changing up the Trench Raider kit itself, but the spawn locations. I heard someone made a point when it first came out that not being able to heal yourself would really just cause this kit to be probably the worst kit that there is. So if you think that not having to be able to like heal yourself would kind of even out this kit, it would make this kit the kit completely obsolete in a matter of like days, in my opinion, because you only have that little pistol that shoots, and that this number 3 revolver, I tell you what, can really frustrate you when you realize how just inaccurate this gun can be. So it's really not anything that's gonna do any type of long range damage. The best thing this kit can do for you is give you anything that's close range, and when you're close range, people are always shooting at you, hitting at you, and really I'm finding more now that I've been using this kit Even though I did have a 40 kill game, it's becoming a little bit more difficult to get those games. I'm not sure quite if it's just because the chances of me getting this kit are lower now. I'm finding a lot of people now are rushing this kit. I'm not the only one now grabbing. I made a point about this in one of my other videos while talking about the Trench Raider kit, is that as much as I believe it's the best elite class that there is, when it goes against the other elite classes, it's probably the worst. So anytime that the enemy team would to get their behemoth, quote unquote, on this map, when you get your sentry kits, you're easily going to take this thing out using that as well too. So you know, it can easily be taken out if you realize and take it seriously. I find a lot of people who just don't respect the class, and what I mean by that is they'll see me have the kit, they know I have the kit, and yet they still run and do the exact same thing that they do, trying to cap a certain point that I'm on. So like the moment I see someone who has a kit, I instantly switch to a bayonet, like instantly, and I start considering that option, that I'm just going to go on a huge kamikaze mission even if I die, and I'm going to take you out. And I think if people have more of that mindset instead of like dying from it and kind of like moving on thinking someone else is going to take care of it, I think this kit will not come across as to some people as being OP. So with that said, I think the one last thing I kind of want to make a point about, it is kind of interesting that this kit is not on Fort Devo. I did understand why it wasn't kind of in the first place. I mean, I haven't seen really haven't really looked into any other opinions on this, so I've just kind of been thinking about it on my own. But I mean, the main thing for me was always just the grenade spam. The way Fort Devo is generated and made, that the fact that I could respawn my grenades unlimited would just be I'd be able to hold down so many points, and being able to get around corners enough to like heal myself. I mean, I'd pretty much, I think, would destroy completely on Fort Devo. However, now that the automatic respawn for the grenades is off, I'm curious if this might ever make it into Fort Devo. Maybe not so much as being an in-game spawn weapon to pick up, but maybe as the behemoth class that comes in. I have noticed a few games of playing Fort Devo. There have been games now that I'm getting where the enemy team is, you know, being suppressed, and we have all the capture points. And I've had instances where they've gotten the behemoth now, and they're coming in with their sentry kits and their flame trooper kits, and it still doesn't seem to be able to like hold it over and to really do that much damage. So I would be kind of curious to see if they introduce that. I have played games on where the behemoth is the char that comes in, and I've had 2 games now on Soysons where the char has come in and we were losing by a lot, and the char came in, changed the game up, and we won just barely, you know, by like 2 or 3 tickets, but we were just enough to you know, to win the game. So I've yet to see that on Fort Devo, so I'm kind of curious if this might make it in there now that you don't have the grenade spam. I mean, you're still going to do an incredible amount of damage with this without your grenades on Fort Devo. Definitely the way how close range it is, this could be an absolute devastating weapon on there. But but bringing it in as a behemoth class, I think might be enough to kind of, you know, bring those games over, those lopsided games over, and make it you know, more you know, these epic, you know, battles at the end, if they want to take that approach. I'm kind of curious to see what you guys think. I kind of want to hear your guys' opinion on that, how you guys feel, if you would like to see this in Fort Devo, if you still feel it's OP after even the nerf that's kind of had with it. So yeah, feel free to say what's up in the comments. I kind of want to have a discussion with people if people want to have that with me. That's basically it, guys. Just want to do a little video on kind of the state of the Trench Raider kit now with the post spring patch. Thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys again later.